For those of you that have been a part of this ministry or other ministries in the past, you might recall a lot of Sunday talks were done just like this. Do you remember that? Some of you in the stories? Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity in the 1900s, they would often give lessons and speak just in this kind of format. So we're doing something a little bit different for you today, a little bit of a Super Soul Sunday dialogue about membership and joining, becoming a part of a spiritual community, because that's what today's focused on. We have some new members that are joining our community today we want to celebrate, along with other people in our community we want to celebrate today, and a little bit of a service after we continue our conversation together. Yes. So welcome to this first experience. Yes. It's always interesting to do a co-talk because you never know what's going to come out of these two. Right?
Well, no. But I want to welcome all the newcomers here today, too.
Absolutely.
We have new people.
If you're here for the very first time in this sanctuary, would you just wave at us here so we can just see? Yeah, we've got a few people.
Wonderful.
Unity folks, but maneuvering around to different places. It's so exciting. I think that's going to be a lot of what we talk about today, because you kind of, and at least in my experience, for many years, I would try ministries on for size. Does that sound familiar? You'd kind of go and peruse and see, does it fit? Does it fit? I don't know. And then suddenly it fits, and you know you're home. And that's really what our focus is welcoming home.
Welcome.
So talk to me about ministry and membership in your life.
Well, every time I step into our sanctuary, I'm reminded that this is a spiritual community. This isn't just a building. It is a building that holds beautiful people, consciousness, growth inside of it. This is a magnificent building that houses truly the house of the Lord and the message of Jesus and all that we teach here.
Absolutely. The energy that is felt, I've heard many of you talk about over the years. You know, we're in a 100-year-old building, more than 100, over 84 years as a Unity ministry. The leaders, the people that have come through here that are still here have just brought so much beautiful energy. And I know even when you walk in for the first time, you feel the love, you feel that this is where transformation happens. Does that make sense to any of you that have been here for a number of years? And you stick with it because something special is happening right here.
Well, I think we underestimate how sacred it is to witness each other. When someone is vulnerable enough to say, this is where I am right now in my life, and the community responds, you're not alone. For so many years, I felt so alone, Reverend Doug.
Did you?
And I don't feel alone anymore. My heart is so filled. And I'm so grateful for everyone here and everyone I've met, and how beautiful to know that we aren't taking this journey alone.
Exactly. One of my core values, for those of you that know, some may not, is belonging. And I think belonging is definitely a need that a lot of people find. They're seeking a way to meet that need, especially in a world that is so dependent upon social media and separation and pockets of groups here and there. But there's something so sacred and true about community, coming together in spiritual community, in lessons and in learning. When someone chooses to join and say, that's my church, or that's my community, that's where I'm going to show up, they're not only showing up for themselves, they're showing up for each other. The intimate conversations, the way we show up for each other is just a beautiful experience. Every time I come in here, I know that. Which is why when we decided to move to Dallas, I hadn't said yes to Unity on Greenville. I had said yes to being open and receptive to see what would be revealed. And I got to say, even in the quiet of this sanctuary, with no one saying a word, the yes was here. I couldn't leave. Right. It was really palpable.
The energy that is felt here and anchored here for so many years. This church is how old, Reverend Doug?
It's over 104.
Yeah.
And 84 years as a Unity community.
So we know the prayers that have been anchored here,
yes.
The consciousness, the love, the moving from me alone to we. I'm not alone. I'm not on this journey by myself.
Yeah.
Is amazing. it's amazing what this building holds, the energy inside of it. And I think we feel it when we walk in, don't we,
Yeah,
Reverend
I
Doug?
absolutely do. Do you? Do you feel that when you come in here? How many of you have felt that feeling or said that in your lives, that when you come here, you know you're home?
Yeah.
It's something so special about just saying, home, home. I've been working as a transitional minister, so I work with ministries all over the country. And there's so many of them that I've felt that home feeling. But this last year I've said, no, I want to settle in and truly have that home feeling again, which I hadn't had for many years since, and I met James, since Unity of Houston. That was home for us, so deeply home. And feeling that again is very, very powerful and very special. I want to ask you,
Yes.
and I know this is always curious for people to know. As a minister, of course, you went on a path, you became licensed and ordained in religious science, which is CSL. But there was a moment in your life that you found a church, you found a spiritual community. What was that like? What made you say yes to that ministry, that church?
Well, it's interesting, and I did not know my grandson was going to show up today, but I want to speak about his mother for a moment. Long before Davis had ever agreed to come from this angelic world into this world, she came over to my home one day. I was living in Marina del Rey, just empty inside. I don't know if any of you can associate with just an emptiness inside. And she was taking a class down in Huntington Beach with religious science, and she wasn't married to my son. And we were just good friends, and she started talking about a benevolent universe, and I had no idea. I remember just thinking, light bulbs went on. I thought, you mean there's not a judging God out there? That this universe could be for me and never against me? I thought whatever she is doing or studying, I had to do. Now, Reverend Doug's only allowed me an hour and a half, so I have to be very careful. Anyway, it brought me to Agape. When it was brand new, studied with Reverend Michael for a long time when he was still teaching and doing things before he got so terribly busy. And then I moved back to Dallas, and I was asked to speak here, and something just clicked within me. I heard the word practical Christianity, and I thought, I love that. We read the teachings of Jesus, we study the teachings of Jesus, but to actually bring them down and practice them every day in our life, a practical spirituality, a God that is so gracious and good, and a universe for us. I fell in love with Unity, and while my heart will always be with my teachers at CSL and religious science, this is my home, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful for you, Doug.
Thank you. Beautiful story of how we weave and find at a certain point in our lives. We're searching. Anybody relate to that? You're searching. You come into church searching for something. And I want to say, maybe it's the church of our childhoods were beautiful in some ways, in other ways we rejected for whatever reason it might be. There was something there. And I believe sometimes we grow beyond the consciousness of what we might have been in.
Oh, yes.
And I tried on so many for sizes. I know about every faith tradition and ministry from the time I was 6 or 8 on through that. And there was this period of time when I was at work and I thought, I really want to be a part of a spiritual community. And I was talking to my coworker, and her name is Rebecca, and I was talking to her about knowing that there's a one presence and it's God the good. It's not a duality concept, and I knew that innately. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh, you go to Unity," and I said, "What is that?" And she said, "You sound just like Unity." And I said, "What do you mean, like Unity? Like the value?" And she said, "No, like the church." And I said, "Where is that?" This is in Houston. And she said, "Well, have you ever been to Westheimer and Richmond over in that area?" And I said, "You're not talking about the big gold pyramid, are you?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "I have passed it before," and I kind of give the side eye at it. I'm like, "What is that?" There's a pyramid in Houston, and it says Unity Church of Christianity. I couldn't wrap my head around it. So, of course, she invited me to church. Have you ever been invited to church and you kind of have second thoughts going, "Oh, no, someone's taking me to church"?
Oh, yes.
But I went, And the most beautiful message, Reverend Howard and Diane Caesar came out, and the words he said were, I want you to be open and receptive. And those words rang so true to me, and I leaned forward and I said, okay, I will. Well, obviously the rest is history, because that fit and that practicality of it, Jesus as my way shower, a master teacher, a one that experienced the way, but not just for him, but a message that many can learn and grow from. And so I took that in and began my own path, and of course found home.
Right.
Joined membership classes.
Right.
Got involved.
Right.
Have you ever been a volunteer in a church?
Oh, yes. But I've loved it. It's the only way I could have ever stayed at Agape, because when I first came in, that's Reverend Michael Beckwith's church, if you didn't know, it was a little overwhelming. While it wasn't the crowds it is now, it was still overwhelming. And
overwhelming how? As in people rushing, going, new person, new person?
Well, yes, and Reverend Dr. Roger Teal had been telling me to come and come and come, and I just didn't pay any attention for years. And I walked in, and it was new, and I thought the only way I can go back is if I get involved. And anyway, I started being an usher, and then I belonged to something. I wasn't just walking, because many of those people knew each other. Mm-hmm. I knew nobody. And so it made all the difference becoming involved. And from there, all kinds of different services. But it didn't just help other people with the service and all that was going on. It gave me a reason to show up. And it gave me a reason not to feel isolated, because so much of my life, I had felt very isolated, Reverend Doug.
Yeah.
And that took it all away.
It really does. And, the first thing people often hear about is becoming involved. I'm joining a church. Today we're going to celebrate people joining a church. And then suddenly someone's coming with a clipboard saying, will you sign up for potluck? Will you sign up for... All of a sudden that happens. It does. And at the same time, being involved and serving others is really what it's about. That really, because without volunteers, our chaplains, our celebration assistants, all the people that do so much in our churches, we wouldn't be a church.
Right.
It is a community. It truly is. We
get to be out of ourselves. What a
Yes.
concept. I get to think of other people. I get to think of service. All I can say is, and I'm up here trying to preach, I can only tell you my experience. It has changed my life in more ways than I could ever give thanks for.
Well, you can preach if you want to. Go on, preach.
I knew he was going to call my time.
Preach. No, but Myrtle Fillmore said, "What we praise increases." And I love that phrase, because when we focus our time and attention, for instance, into service, into joining community, into participating in something, it increases with attracting more of the same type people.
Yes.
Kindness, service, love, intentionality more into our lives. And that's truly what our principles are about.
Yes.
And this community, or a unity community, really teaches us that in many ways.
Yes. Yes, for
And hopefully
sure.
we bring those lessons on Sundays too.
Oh, I hope we do. This church offers so much, and you've got a marvelous minister, and Troy with him, and who's doing so much, and I'm just very grateful. It's very interesting. Here I go, Reverend Doug.
Okay, I'm
better
ready.
call time. He's got an egg timer up here. He doesn't. When we say yes, the universe loves that one word, yes.
Yeah.
And when we are invited to do something, never to our harm, certainly, and we give that universal yes, I think it was Thoreau that said, unseen forces come to our aid, and life seems to open up in so many ways. And when I say, this is going to sound so corny, Reverend Doug, but I'm not corny. Well, a little bit.
Corny's okay, but corny's okay. We like corny, right? Of course we do. Go.
I get to come and I get to love everybody. And
Yeah.
I mean, really, from my heart opens up when I see people. It's just joyful. So I'm just so grateful. Just remember that the importance of yes when we're asked for opportunities to do something.
Absolutely.
The universe waits for that.
It's a willingness to say yes, to continue, to see where can I grow, where can I be, what will this life look like if I continue to be a part of it? I'll just come one more time. I'll participate in one more way. I know Sandra, for instance, I'm putting her on the spot right here. I know Mark, I know Valerie and Megan. Many people have said yes to board service, to prayer chaplains, to different things in the church. And they've talked about how your life expands. It opens up. More opportunities show up in your life by being a part of a spiritual community. Yes? Those of you know what I mean by that, the more you do. And the community constantly says back to you, we're with you.
Yes.
It's a mutual exchange. Your presence, your energy, your yes. We give our support, our welcome. And it's always this full cycle of events that happen in our lives.
You know, I can't, this is spontaneous, so I'm not going to be able to remember who said it, but there's that wonderful quote about the people that come to the edge, and a voice is, or they're standing on a mountain top, and a voice keeps saying to them, come to the edge. And they keep saying, but we're afraid. And the voice says, come to the edge. And they said, no, we're afraid because there was this huge mountain drop. And he said, come to the edge. And when they started to say no, he pushed them, and they flew.
Yeah.
And isn't that our story?
It really is.
When we come to the edge, and that yes, something happens, and we start to fly.
How many of you have been a part of this community for more than 10 years? Raise your hand.
Wow.
Yeah. How many have been a part of a unity community for more than 10 years? Yeah. So there's something here. You know, oftentimes I hear people will say, now more than ever. I've heard this my entire life. Now more than ever, we need unity. We need the principles, one presence, one power, the active thoughts of mind. It's not enough to know our principles, that we must put them into action. All of that. Affirmative prayer is life-changing, isn't it? For those of you that have experienced affirmative prayer, that call to pray and a claim and a declare of what life will be, not an asking or a beseeching of, but to know it and to align with divine order, with divine timing, with the divine God that's here for all of us, within us, to please, support, and celebrate.
Yes. And wasn't it Emerson's that said, true prayer is never begging or beseeching God for anything, but it is seeing prayer and life from high possibilities. And that's what we're about here.
It is.
It's about seeing life and God and this universe and studying the teachings of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about.
Amen. Amen. Sign up sheet to sign up sheet, heart to heart, potluck to potluck.
This is true. Now, you may be asked to bring something to potluck or join the board, and they're thinking, oh, not me.
Don't talk
oh,
about,
yes, you.
Don't talk about board service
Oh,
right now. No,
I'm sorry.
We'll wait for that one.
I'm
We'll
sorry.
creep that one a little bit later.
He's cautioned me about this.
Yeah. It's like, I've only been in the church for just this little length of time, and they're asking me to be on the board.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It
And-
happens. Has that happened to you before? Oh, of course it has. Absolutely.
Jeff.
So I think it could be a beautiful time in our lives to celebrate and to honor those that have said yes to further commitment. We've got new member classes coming up again in October. We have a couple of classes for people to take to learn a little bit more about unity, a little bit more about what is this unity? Who are these co-founders? What's affirmative prayer? What does that mean? We'll have those coming up again in October. And there are several people that have taken those classes, some last year, and that were honored with a certificate. But we've moved those from the end of last year and those recently in the spring to today to give an honoring and a celebration of our new members. So you want to do that now?
Sure.
Okay,
All
let's go
right.
do that. It's a blessing to serve. I hope you see that Reverend Barbara and I, as a team, are here together to serve and support this community. While ministries are out seeking a minister or a spiritual leader, you've got two here, beloved and service and connected and ready to serve. When you leave today, some of you may remember this, a few years ago I did this. There are keychains for everyone that's a little frog. Anyone remember the frogs from a few years ago? Fully rely on God. So there are some out in the lobby for you to take with you, and you'll see a little bit more why in a moment. But right now, we would like to really honor our new members that have joined the church. Elaine Copeland, Rick Huskisson, David Davis, Linda Long, Sharon Harrison, Tara Claire Wild. Linda is with us today. Some of them couldn't be here today. They'll be coming at different Sundays in the future, talking about calendar, scheduling, organization. But we have these, do you see these beautiful gifts up here? The creativity of the wrapping and the gifts that are in there. We have beautiful gifts for our new members as they come into our ministry that are really spiritual care books. One's about the life of the Dalai Lama. The other one is Eric Butterworth's Discover the Power Within, that they'll be receiving as new members. So today we have with us Linda Long. Linda, if you would come forward. And Reverend Barbara and I would like to present this to you, your gift, and a card. It's a note and a blessing from both of us. Reverend Barbara?
Yes. Yes. Linda, this is such a joy.
It is such a joy. Linda's already serving in many ways. Already serving in many ways. There's direction happening from the person behind the camera right now. Thank you. Oh, by the way, if you didn't notice, Gabe is here. Gabe Wolf is here with us as a photographer. Say hi, Gabe.
Hi, Gabe.
So he didn't just come off the street and start taking pictures. He was invited. But Linda, we are so blessed to have you in the service that you're doing. Linda is regularly serving as a volunteer on Thursdays, helping keep the church running and going. We're so grateful for you and all the ways that you will serve. And I'm sure there will be sign-up sheets and all sorts of stuff for you to do in the future. So everyone together, let's bless Linda with a unity blessing.
Oh, yes.
Linda, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. God bless you. Welcome. Also today, we are so honored by the service L.D. Carter, Lisa Reddy, and Mark Titus have given to this church. You see their names up on the screen. If you would stand, Lisa's standing in the back. LD's not with us today. Mark is right here. They have served on our search team for more than 4 or 5 years to find the right and perfect minister. That sounds odd saying it as I'm standing here right now. But they have held the light, they've held the vision, they've interviewed, they've seen people, they've talked to people, they've held the affirmation with this community and the board also to become part of a committee that looks at the applications that come through this, and we can officially release them from their duties and bless them and thank them. We are so blessed by you. So everyone together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Thank you so much. Another moment of celebration today. We kind of moved that in with potluck today, but you'll see our new little, I think he's going to be our mascot. You see him down there? Thank you, Troy, for the creation of that. Lily pad theme, you can kind of get that there. Fully rely on God. The God that is the expression within people that serve, that join, all the people in this ministry. So I would like for our staff member, Rachel, if you would come up. Troy, our newest, just at 90 days. Troy, please come up. Herb, please come up. Kim is not with us today. Ahmad's not with us today, but Ahmad and Kim, we're holding them in the light. We have a gift for them also. Everyone could use gift cards, couldn't they? So we want to get a photo here with all of us. The beautiful love and the service that they do in our ministry, we are grateful. Troy helped put some of this together. He didn't know about this part because he would have been hiding in the office. So to our staff, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Thank you. Thank you. Just a little curbs to him, thank you. Just a little mid-year bonus gift card for fun, right? That's always good.
Always good.
Sounds like it's wrap-up time, isn't it?
Well, I
Oh,
see.
there's something else happening.
Just the frog. I
The
just
frog.
love that so much. I'm going to fully rely on God.
Fully rely on God as the expression that we show up in every single moment. Here's a time in our service that no one knows that's going to happen. You know me. Have you figured out that there's surprises all the time? We have for the very first time, so this is going to be a beginning of something. There's another gift. Fully rely on God is fully expressing God in action. And we want to recognize a volunteer. Someone that has given their love, their service in many, many ways. Someone that shows up in those times when you think everything looks just fine, but you don't know what they went through to help make it look just fine. That shows up on the weekends, that sometimes graciously fights the ants when it's necessary. Graciously climbs the ladders to keep the light bulbs in, to the filters changed. Someone that is being recognized today is Mark Titus. Mark, if you would please come up.
Oh, woo.
The fully rely on God, we call it an appreciation honor to Mark Titus with deep gratitude for your devoted heart and generous spirit. Your service is a living expression of God's love and action, and it's a certificate with the lily pads that's signed by Reverend Barbara and I as a keepsake for you going forward. Reverend Barbara?
Oh, yes. Hey, Mark was very instrumental in me being here, too, so thank you, Mark.
And no, Mark knew nothing of this. So thank you for, how many years have you been a part of the church?
Most of that 84 years.
It just seems that way, Mark.
But a long time. You were here with Frank and Margaret Pounders. You've been here through all the different iterations of the ministry and so many ways in service. And it's wonderful because Mark has an eye for maintenance and keeping things on track. So do I. So it's really been nice to partner with you and talk about those things that are not fun to talk about.
Talk about ants.
Yeah, talk about ants. We're on ant duty or whatever it may be. Mark, thank you for all that you've given and all that you've been for our ministry. Mark, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Thank you. So this summer, we'll do more of these later in the year towards Christmas, but this summer we are recognizing there are so many volunteers in this ministry. Get a part of the volunteer team. I got to tell you, they have fun.
Yeah.
And they're in service. A little bit about this next person. Reverend Barbara?
All right. So I wrote mine out because it was very precious to my heart. Every now and again, this benevolent universe gives us with someone very special, and they enter our life. Several years ago, I had this experience with such an individual entered my life and gifted me with a new sense of what true service was about. This individual had a very rewarding, yet a very demanding career in education and could have enjoyed their retirement by traveling, reading, or simply relaxing. Instead, this individual chose to take on the enormous task of servicing their spiritual community as a full-time volunteer. This giving soul has spent countless days and hours doing the most important tasks to the most mundane for and in this spiritual community. This was done with innate graciousness and always the grace of God. This individual's kindness and dedication has affected every person that has ever entered into the doors of unity. Not all 84 years, though. We'll just put it that way, not that many. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" This individual has done countless things for their church and others. She has answered Dr. King's urgent request 100-fold. Our spiritual community is blessed and honored to honor and honored beyond what words could ever say and thoughts could even express, to honor our very own beloved Sandra de la Cruz.
You are such a beautiful gift to this ministry. And the Fully Rely on God award also goes to. With deep gratitude for your devoted heart and generous spirit, your service is a living expression of God's love in action. Signed by Reverend Barbara and myself. And Sandra, I want to say that when I came here as a transitional minister in 2022, and we were going through the transition, I had a partner. And Sandra was my partner. And all the things you may never even know that we had to do to just keep things moving along. And she jumped right in there and she said, yes, I will, and yes, I will. I know Darcy has probably said, please come home, please come home, please come home. And we're working on that, as she's also now a trainer, training Troy, our newest staff person, to hand a lot of that off to. And we're so blessed that you are here with us in this ministry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another photo opportunity. And together, Sandra, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. Thank you. If she would have known this was going to happen, she might not have signed up for celebration assistant today to now have to continue the service. But we are so blessed by our new members that will continue joining in many ways. We'll bless other volunteers as the year goes on later this year. We're blessed to kick off something new, a new era, Reverend Barbara and I, and things of celebration and people and honoring and coming together as a community. And you're part of that. Please know that. We are so blessed by being here. We said yes because of you.
Yes.
Do you realize that? That's why we're here.
Yes. And this is your church.
Absolutely.
This belongs to you. So we're just, again, just so honored.
We are.
It's a
We are.
beautiful day, and
We
I'm
are.
grateful. I guess we stay in gratitude, huh? No matter
We
what.
do. Thank you.
What? For what?
Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you all. God bless.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.